Okay, so in this video we're going to apply nested loops to turtles, and let's see what we want to do, right? So I've gone ahead and set up these four turtles, um, and actually I'm going to make them sort of stagger on, let's see, so we have 320. I should have done this earlier, but we go ahead and just do this, and then we have 10, and then I'm going to make this 120, 240, 360. Okay, so I have those all staggered, and now what we want to do is let's actually just go ahead and I'm going to remove this inner for loop, okay? And um, I'm going to try to make each of these turtles um, draw a square, okay? So let's see, how would I do that? My brain's not kind of not working here, but um, let's see. What I could do, right, is first of all, I can go ahead and let's do this. Okay, let's make this into a list. So we want to have these turtles in a list. So remember how we make an array, right? Um, but actually, you know what? Pause the video and see if you can do this on your own. So make an array that holds each of these four turtles. Okay, so there are multiple ways you can do this, and what I'm going to do, for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to create an array, and actually I'll move this down here, turtle array, and I'm going to make a new turtle array, and I'm just going to put them ABCD. Okay, so I have these four turtles inside this turtle array, and I'm going to go over the length of this array. So I want to say turtle array dot length. Okay, hopefully you have that one. Um, and so now I is going to be each of the indices 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And now, how do I access each turtle again from this turtle array? What operator do I use? What symbols? Okay, so if you set the index operator, that's correct, and it's really just a set of brackets. And then what I would do is I would say turtle array, right? Index of what? I want to go over each turtle in this array, and we have some variables here. Notice what I'm hovering over, right? So I could put I. So I is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, which corresponds with the indices of these array, or these turtles in the array. And so now what I can say is, well, I'm going to, for each turtle, I'm going to make it move forward by 100, and as usual, we'll make it turn 90. Okay, so now we have this. And okay, so how will we make it draw a square, right? We could literally just copy this like 4 times, right? So, I mean, I could totally do this, and I'll go ahead and, I don't need that anymore, really. Go over here, compile, call the main method. Okay, so I have drawn 4 squares over here. So each turtle, I'm doing this much work, right? Imagine if you're doing like a lot. So how would you turn this whole code into a nested loop to make things easier for us? So go ahead and try this out. Okay, so I'm going to write a nested for loop, right? So what we said was we had int j is equal to 0, and then j is less than 4 because we want to do this 4 times. And j plus plus. Okay. And now I could literally just copy and paste these lines and then get rid of these. Okay. Now, do I want to change turtle array j? Do I want to change this to j? You could. That would be very interesting, actually. Let's try I first and compile and make sure that it works. That's perfect, right? Same exact thing as we did before, but in a nested loop. Okay. Now, what if we change it to j? This will be very interesting for us to think about. What do you think will happen? Maybe pause the video, take a minute to think about that. Okay, so hopefully you thought about it. We play it, and it actually makes no difference in this case. And we can think about what's happening, right? In here, we have turtle j moves forward 100 and turn 90. So in here, turtle j is going to be what? So turtle j is going to be 0, 0, 1, 2, and 3. And so essentially, we're moving each one of them forward by 100 and turn by 90, right? Actually, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the debugger. So I'm going to pause here. Oh, why can't I? How do I do this? I can't stop here. Oh, come on. Okay, let me figure out how to use the debugger real quick. Okay, all I had to do is just compile first because I had changed something. Once I compiled, I was able to hit the stop right here. So let's see what's happening. Okay, so let's go over here, run this thing. Okay, and now it's going to be like this. Okay, so let's see if we can kind of do this. Scroll up a little bit. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to step. I think step into is okay. All right, so now we've executed that line, and then now we're here. Actually, we're just going to step. Okay, and now we're here, right? And j is what? J is 0. Now let me scroll this up. Okay, so now you can see all of the variables here. You press step, and now we've moved the first turtle forward by 100, and then now we're going to turn it by 90. Okay, I don't know why I didn't just do turn left or turn right. Anyway, so now it comes back up here, and it's going to increment, right? It's going to increment j. Now j is 1, so what is turtle array of 1? Well, that's going to be the second turtle, right? So move the second turtle forward, and then make it turn. And then we increment j, so that makes the third turtle go forward and turn, and the fourth turtle move forward and turn. Okay, so now we're done with this inner for loop. And now it's going to come back up here, and it's going to increment I. Okay, so it's going to increment I. Next thing it's going to do is it's going to do the same thing on the first turtle again. So it's going to make it go forward, make it turn, and then it's going to do the same thing on the second turtle, make it go forward, make it turn, third turtle, forward turn on the fourth turtle. And now we're pretty much done with this inner for loop, and now we come back up here and we'll go ahead and keep doing this, right? So essentially we're just doing the same thing, right? Now, this would be very interesting if we sort of change things up a little bit. So, how can you like, why does it work? Why do these work? How come when I put J here, it'll still, give me all the squares? So the reason why that is because turtle array also happens to be 4, right? And our draw square also happens to be 4. Um, let's say we wanted to make it an octagon. Okay, so I'm gonna make this smaller. So an octagon has 8 sides and it turns 45 degrees each. And because I want to do this 8 times, what should I change it? So I should make this 8, right? And now, am I able to do this? Am I still going to be able to do this? Okay, so we can check that out. Then we can run this, hit OK, and I think it stops midway. Let's see what's happening. Okay, so actually we see it here. So we have an array index out of bounds exception. What is happening is J is going to 4, right? Now, turtle array of 4 is not a valid index in here because there are 4 elements and it starts from 0 and then 1 and then 2 and then 3, right? There is no element at the 4th index, right? So it just so happened that we were able to exchange I and J because they were both 4, and that was coincidentally coincidentally nice, I guess. Coincidentally nice. And so we need to change these to I. Now, what if I had, let's change this back to these default values. And let's say I had another one here. Okay, so let's say I had 5 turtles, and I put J here. What's going to happen? So I have 5 turtles here, but I only have, but I put J here. Because what do you think is going to happen? Maybe try to think about this a little bit. Okay, so we can run that. Right, so let's compile, run this, and actually let me put this to 480 so it's easier to see what's going on. Compile, run, and okay. So this is very interesting, right? So we have that the turtles are not in their original spots like this 5th one is. They're all drawing a square, but they're all up here, right? And why is that? Well, that's because we're essentially we're doing this 5 times. We're doing this inner loop 5 times. Okay, and the reason for that is because turtle array.length is 5. So we're doing this 5 times, but notice how J only goes up to, well, 3, right? 3 is less than 4. So J only goes up to 3, it does not go up to 4. And so it only accesses the turtles in the array from indices 0, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so it only accesses those, but it does not access the last one. So how can we fix this? How can we fix this behavior? And I guess I'll finish explaining where, because it does this 5 times, what it does is forward, turn once, forward, turn twice, forward, turn 3 times, forward, turn 4 times, forward, turn, and 5 times. So it goes into, it draws a square and then draws another side repetitively, and so that's why it ends up here 5 times. Okay, and now this last turtle is kind of just lonely, it's not doing its dance. So how can we fix this? All right, so the way we really fix this is just you can change these back to I, and everyone will be happy. Everyone will do the dance happily. Okay, so those are just some of the things I like to talk about to show with turtles, and hopefully you get to practice this with pictures and working with pixels soon.